Like, I'm sorry, you can't just, the player's walking back, you can't just grab a player.
Caitlin Clark's like, what the hell is this? You know, I was just hyping up the crowd. What you coming up on me for? I was just going like this. Why are you pulling up on me? I'm just hyping up the crowd.
In my opinion, is completely unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. Like, if a coach did this to any other player in the league, they'd be fired.
So what can this possibly...
Welcome to the wildest roller coaster ride in WNBA history, folks. Buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into the scandal that's got fans ready to riot in the streets. I'm talking about the leaked footage from 2025 showing the Indiana Fever coach grabbing Caitlin Clark during a celebration. Yes, you heard that right, grabbing her like she's a naughty kid caught sneaking cookies before dinner. And the fans? Oh, they're not just upset, they're downright livid.
I would love to see Caitlin Clark get a technical for hyping up the crowd during a dead ball. Not slapping the stanchion during a dead ball, not talking to referees during a dead ball, not showing up the opposing team during a dead ball, but hyping up the crowd, her home crowd, during a dead...
Let's roll. The year is 2025, and Caitlin Clark is still the name on everyone's lips. She's been lighting up the WNBA since her rookie days, and this season, she's a walking highlight reel. But apparently, that's not enough for the Fever brass. They've got their own vision, and it involves clamping down on the one player who's single-handedly dragging their franchise out of obscurity. This grabbing incident is the cherry on top of a sundae made of questionable decisions, and fans are eating it up with a side of fury. If you're as fired up about this mess as I am, go ahead and smash that like button and drop Fever Fumble in the comments below, because this story is about to get even crazier.
CC, wow, I remember this play but didn't see the grabbing. Was this the Sun game? I think after this game, CC stopped talking to the crowd or showing as much emotion on the floor. That is a very good point. If this was in fact the Sun game, you can draw the straight line from Sun game to how she's been interacting as of lately with the...
Let's set the scene. It's a balmy night in 2025, and the Indiana Fever are crushing the Connecticut Sun. The score? Something ridiculous, like 20 points in their favor. And Caitlin Clark is out there doing Caitlin Clark things. She drains a step-back three that's so beautiful it could make a grown man weep, and the crowd loses its collective mind. She's feeding off that energy, pumping up the fans, living her best life, and then bam, out of nowhere, the coach swoops in and grabs her. Not a friendly arm around the shoulder move. Not a great job, kid, pat. No. This is a full-on yank her back to reality grab, like she's a runaway kite and the coach is reeling her in.
Then goes and hits a step back three on JC Shelton. And she goes, the whole crowd's going nuts. And she comes, and she's getting subbed off, by the way, at this stage. She's getting subbed off for the game. She doesn't go back in the game at this stage. So it's not like it's a close game. They're up 20. She does not see the floor again. Caitlin Clark is there hyping up the crowd. She's there trying to hype up the crowd. Exactly what you want. Exactly what you want. You want to see this version of Caitlin. You want to see this player.
You know, the crowd that's been dead because I haven't been on my game, and now I'm back on my game, and I'm hyping them up, and we're getting them into it, and it puts the opposing team on their back heel. You know, you guys aren't used to that. My bad. And what's coach doing? Caitlin, don't do that, Caitlin.
The leaked footage hits the internet faster than you can say viral. And it's a doozy. You can see Clark's face go from pure joy to what just happened in about 0.2 of a second. It's the kind of moment that makes you rewind and watch again just to confirm you didn't imagine it. This isn't some minor oopsie. This is the coach stepping all over Clark's moment, and it's as subtle as a foghorn in a library. Now, let's dissect this play-by-play, because it's too good to gloss over.
We hardly saw anything. From this moment on, the emotion was gone from Caitlin. Let's be real, that was right before the Valkyries game. The Valkyries game that realistically just kind of broke her.
Hey, Caitlin, we got to control our energy. We got to control our emotions, which, okay, I understand controlling your emotions, but Caitlin Clark is an emotional player. Therefore, she wears her game on her sleeve. When she's hyped, you can tell. When she's not at herself, you can tell. When she's getting fired up, you can tell. She's not like this during the game. That's not Caitlin. That's not who she is. And if you want to turn her into that, that's going to have more negative repercussions than positive outcomes.
The game's basically wrapped up. The Sun are waving the white flag, and Clark's three-pointer is the exclamation point on a blowout. She's jogging back, hyping the crowd, maybe even throwing a little swagger into her step. It's perfect. It's what sports are all about. And then the coach decides this is the hill to die on. She reaches out, grabs Clark's arm, and pulls her like she's trying to stop a toddler from running into traffic. The camera catches it all, and the internet explodes. Twitter, or whatever we're calling it in 2025, lights up with reactions. One fan posts, Did the coach just grab Caitlyn like she's stealing her purse? I need to speak to the manager of this nonsense. Another chimes in, Caitlyn Clark out here dropping dimes, and the coach treats her like a runaway dog. Unbelievable. The memes start rolling in, too. One's got Clark's face on a superhero being held back by a villain labeled Fever Coach. Another shows the grab with the caption, when you're having too much fun and the boss reminds you it's Monday tomorrow. It's savage, and it's glorious. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about one awkward moment. This grab is a symbol, folks. It's the Fever saying, hey, Caitlyn, we love that you're amazing, but could you be amazing in a way that doesn't make us uncomfortable?
Of the Indiana Fever backroom staff. I'm not a fan of what they're trying to do to Caitlyn Clark, and I fully believe they're trying to dim the flame of Caitlyn, and they're trying to make her fit in to what the WNBA used to be, rather than fit out.
And that's where the real outrage comes from. Fans aren't just mad about the physical act. They're mad because it's a glaring neon sign of how the Fever have been handling Clark all along. They want her to fit into some outdated mold, to be a good little soldier, instead of the game-changing force she is. And this clip, it's the proof everyone needed. The coach probably didn't mean to start a revolution, but that's exactly what happened. Post-game interviews don't help. She mumbles something about team discipline, but it sounds like the kind of excuse you give when you're caught eating the last slice of cake. Meanwhile, Clark's out there still trying to play it cool, saying, I just want to get the crowd going. That's when I'm at my best.
Caitlyn Clark, you don't even have to like Caitlyn Clark did this, but this is Caitlyn Clark. This is Caitlyn at her best, when she is relentless. When she is relentless, when she's getting the crowd involved. And it's literally like Caitlyn. She said it against like the Liberty. She said after the game, she's like, oh, I want to get the crowd involved. I want to do this, want to do that. Like, that's kind of what her goal is. She's like, that's when I'm at my...
One-off. The Indiana Fever have been treating Caitlyn Clark like she's a problem to be solved rather than a gift to be celebrated. And it's been going on all through 2025. This season, she's been averaging insane numbers. Think 25 points, 8 assists, and a highlight reel that could run for days. She's the reason the Fever aren't just a footnote anymore. But instead of letting her shine, the team's been trying to sand down her edges. And it's as frustrating as watching someone try to fit a square peg into a round hole with a sledgehammer. From day one, the Fever's backroom staff have had this weird obsession with making Clark fit in.
Essentially said her coach doesn't want her to play her game. And it's very clear that the Indiana Fever don't want Caitlyn to be Caitlyn. They want to see the perfect... And by the way, I don't know if this is just from the coaching staff. I think this might be from the front office. Maybe they want to keep this squeaky clean image of Caitlyn Clark, not realizing that Caitlyn Clark didn't have this squeaky clean...
They've got this old school WNBA vibe they're clinging to, like it's 1997 and everyone's still impressed by a basic layup. Clark's out here playing like it's 2025, which, newsflash, it is, and they're acting like she's disrupting their precious knitting circle. The grabbing incident? That's just the tip of the iceberg. They've been dimming her flame bit by bit, and it's starting to show. Take the Valkyries game a few weeks after the Sun blowout. Clark comes out flat, like someone sucked the soul out of her. She's still dropping 20 points, because she's Caitlyn freaking Clark, but the fire's gone. No crowd hype. No trash talk. Just a robot going through the motions. And why? Because after that grab, the coach sat her down and told her to tone it down. Tone it down? This isn't a library book club. This is basketball, where passion's the whole point. But the Fever want her to be this squeaky clean poster girl. And it's killing her vibe.
You want her to have Kobe in her. You want her to have Jordan in her. And they're trying to take that away from her. They're trying to take away the greatest show in sports. And it's very clear. It is very clear that it is from the top.
The front office isn't innocent either. Word on the street, or at least on 2025's version of X, is that they've got this vision of Clark as the perfect player. They want her shooting long threes and smiling for the cameras, nothing else. One insider tweet from @WNBA Scoop says, Fever execs think Caitlyn's only draw is her range. They're pushing her to be a one-trick pony. A one-trick pony? This woman's got more tricks than a magician at a kid's birthday party, but they're blind to it. They've been micromanaging her game all season. Sources say they've told her to cut the flashy passes, ditch the crowd interaction, and basically play like she's auditioning for a corporate training video. After a win against the Liberty, Clark said in an interview, I love getting the fans involved. That's when I'm at my best. Guess what? The next game, she's benched for half the fourth quarter because she waved to the crowd. The coach's excuse? We need focus. Focus. The game had a 15-point lead. The only thing they're focusing on is turning Clark into someone she's not. And the fans are noticing. A viral post from @ClarkFan2025 reads, Caitlin Clark is a Kobe-level competitor, and the Fever are treating her like she's a bench warmer. Let her cook. Another fan, @FeverFiasco, adds, they want her to be all smiles and no soul. This ain't it. The hashtag Let Clark Be Clark is born, and it's a rallying cry for everyone sick of seeing her spirit crushed. By mid-2025, you can see it in Clark's eyes. She's still a beast on the court, don't get me wrong. She's dropping 30 against the Aces, outplaying veterans like they're rookies. But the spark, it's flickering. After a loss to the Sparks, she's asked about her game. She just shrugs. I'm doing what they want. And it's the saddest thing you'll hear all year. This is a player who lives on emotion, who thrives on that MJ Kobe intensity, and they're trying to turn her into a calculator with sneakers. The Fever's coaching staff keeps pushing this team-first narrative, but it's a sham. They're not building a team around Clark's strengths. They're forcing her into a box that doesn't fit. One game against the Mystics, she gets attacked for arguing a call, something she's done a million times, and fans love her for it. Post-game, the coach benches her for the next quarter, saying, "We don't need that." Really? Because the crowd was eating it up, and the team won by 12. Seems like they needed it just fine. Social media's ablaze with theories. @Basketball Truth posts, the Fever are scared of Clark's power. They want control, not a star. Another user, @Caitlin Stan, writes, she's carrying this team and they're punishing her for it. Fire everyone. The outrage builds, and it's not just hot air. Attendance is up 40% from last year, per a 2025 ESPN report, and it's all because of Clark. Yet the Fever treat her like she's the problem. Let's talk specific moments, because 2025 has been a highlight reel of Fever nonsense. Early in the season, Clark has a monster game against the Sky. 28 points, 10 assists, pure dominance. She's trash-talking, firing up the crowd, living her truth. Next practice, the coach pulls her aside and says, less talking, more playing. Less talking. That's like telling a chef to use less flavor. The result? Next game, she's quieter, and the energy's off. They still win, but it's not the same. Then there's the Dallas Wings matchup. Clark's on fire, hitting logo threes and dishing no-look passes. The crowd's chanting her name and she's feeding off it. Third quarter. She gets subbed out for no reason. Coach's explanation? Rest. Rest. She's 24 and built like a tank. Fans boo, and rightfully so. A tweet from @WNBA Watchers sums it up. Fever benching Clark in her prime is peak stupidity. Let her run the show. By late 2025, it's a pattern. Every time Clark starts to soar, the Fever clip her wings. She's got 15 points in the first quarter alone, and they pull her. Pacing, they say. Pacing. The game's not even close. Fans start a petition online. Free Caitlin Clark. It gets 50,000 signatures in a week. The comments are gold. She's a prisoner of the Fever's ego. They're jealous of her shine. It's a movement now, and the Fever can't ignore it. But this isn't just about Clark. It's about the WNBA's growing pains. The league's finally got a megastar, someone pulling in casual fans and boosting ratings. A 2025 Sports Illustrated piece says viewership's up 25%, and Clark's name is plastered all over it. But the Fever. They're stuck in the past, treating her like a threat to their precious status quo. Meanwhile, the NBA lets its stars be stars. LeBron's got his brand. Steph's got his flair. And the league thrives. The WNBA, they're still figuring it out. And Clark's caught in the crossfire. The Fever's front office keeps doubling down. A leaked memo from August 2025, courtesy of Insider Hoops, shows they want Clark to project professionalism. Professionalism? She's not a banker. She's a baller. Fans react with fury. @Clark Loyalist tweets, Caitlin's the future, and they're stuck in 1999. Another adds, the disconnect's glaring, and it's costing them goodwill. The fans aren't just mad. They're organized. By October 2025, #Let Clark Be Clark is everywhere. Billboards pop up in Indy saying, Free Caitlin from the Fever. At games, they chant it non-stop. One viral video shows a kid holding a sign. Stop grabbing Caitlin. It's adorable. And savage. Social media's a war zone. @FeverFail posts, Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, and the Fever are generational idiots. @Hoops for Life adds, She's the only reason I watch, and they're ruining it. The pressure's mounting. A November 2025 game against the Mercury sees fans boo the coach every time she calls a timeout. They're done with the suppression. Clark still shines, dropping 35 that night. But you can tell she's holding back. Post-game, she says, "I'm just trying to play their way." Their way. It's like asking Picasso to paint by numbers. So, here we are at the end of this 2025 saga, and the question looms large. What's next for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever? Will they wake up and smell the talent they've got, or keep trying to shove her into a box she'll never fit? The fans are watching, and they're not happy. They're outraged. And they're not about to let this go quietly. This grabbing incident sparked a fire, but the fuel's been piling up all season. The Fever could turn this around. They could let Clark be Clark. Let her run wild and lead this team to glory. She's got the skills, the heart, the everything. A December 2025 report from The Athletic says she's on pace to break records next season, if they just let her. But will they? Or will they keep playing this bizarre game of control, treating her like a puppet instead of a player? The fans want the former, and they're making it loud and clear. Social media is still buzzing as the year winds down. At Clark Nation tweets, "Caitlin deserves better than this clown show. Fever, do better." At Basketball Soul says, "She's the best thing to happen to the WNBA, and they're fumbling it. Unreal." The memes keep coming too. One's got Clark breaking free of chains labeled "Fever Rules," captioned, "2026 better be her year." It's a hope and a demand rolled into one. This isn't just about Clark. It's about the future of the league. The WNBA's got a chance to leap forward, and Clark's the catalyst.